Good morning and welcome to Traders 20 on ET Now. I'm Megha Chadda.
Morning everyone, I'm Avanda Bashwal. Traders 20, this is the show where we get you a daily dose of 20 fresh stock ideas so that you can have a profitable trading day. Our top technical experts, they'll be with us over the next 30 minutes to get you some of the most exciting bets in the markets.
And as always, alongside all those equity trading ideas, we'll also be showcasing commodity picks as well as strategies that would help you make the best of the futures and options market. So let's get started. First up, by introducing the 6 technical guests who are with us today on this show. We've got Ashwini Gujral joining in from New Delhi, Mitesh Thakkar, Sandeep Bagle, as well as Prakash are here in Mumbai. Rajat Bose is in Kolkata and Deepak Mohani will be joining in from Pune.
Straight to the equity markets, it's a fairly strong day of trading. We're close to the highest point of the day at 6,015 on the Nifty, with the Sensex higher at 19,802. A very smart market breadth, and you've got auto, real estate and healthcare. That's really driving the markets up. On the downside, FMCG and consumer durables looking a bit weak. So what's gaining in today's market? Well, Tata Motors notches up a good 4.6%. Positive brokerage calls coming in there. GAIL is currently at 370. Take a look at Cipla, Bharti Airtel, BPCL. You've got M&M as well as SBI really aiding the up move. Hindalco, HCL Technologies as well as Sun Pharma and Sesa holding up. On the downside though, you do have some stocks under pressure. ITC lingers down after showing you quite a bit of resilience yesterday. Ultratech Cement, HDFC and Axis Bank, so some key financials under pressure. Wipro is currently down and out, and Asian Paints as well as TCS looking a tad weak, so probably can add IT to that list. Well, on that note, let's get started off with Traders 20. First, let's give you a disclaimer from our end. Do make sure that you consult your financial advisor before taking any positions in the stocks that have been recommended. Ashwini Gujral now joins in from New Delhi. Mitesh Thakkar is with us on the phone line from Mumbai. Ashwini, what's your sense as to how we're likely to trend on the Nifty today, and what are your top trading recommendations this morning?
Well, it's still a bit choppy today. After a few days, we are seeing some strength on the bank Nifty. So maybe as banking results start coming out, you could have some upside here. We've just taken a long position on the bank Nifty basically because yesterday was a very narrow range day on the bank Nifty, just 100 points move. And from there, we are showing some kind of upside. So chances are that a large range move, large range day could happen from that narrow range having broken on the upside. But overall, market Nifty needs to stay above 6,020 to really show good strength on the upside. Individual stocks, Havells is a buy with a stop about 665, target of 700. Videocon is a buy with a stop about 224. Target of 245, and Orient Bank is a sell with a stop about 348, target of 327, and IFCI is a sell with a stop about 41, target of 33.
Okay, so 2 buying and 2 shorting ideas coming in from Ashwini, and Havells as well is what he's recommended. Remember, today we've had an upgrade coming in from Citi as well for that one. Away from that, Mitesh, tell us about what are you doing with the Nifty at this point in time, and what are your trading recommendations?
See, nothing much on the Nifty, purely because the index is non-directional. The volatility indicators have kind of subsided, so I'm not sure whether we'll get into direction move in the next few hours or not. So I think intraday charts are looking very quiet. But I think stock-specific patterns are there to trade. The first one is Bata India, which can be bought with a stop at 880 for a target of 925. There's some positive price pattern, which is called as inverted head and shoulder pattern formation going on over there. I would also suggest buying it to Suzlon with a stop at 1870 for a target of around 22. The reason being that there's been a strong breakout on the weekly charts. Shipping Corporation is a stock which has been buzzing for the last few days. It's clearly given a short-term breakout with a lot of buy signals. Can be bought with a stop at 59 for a target of 64. And finally, in HTIL, which can be bought with a stop below 120 or 119.9 and a target of 126. And the reason is that we've seen a lot of intraday buy signals with realty stocks going up.
Okay, that is what Mitesh Thakkar is recommending this morning. Not really doing too much when it comes to the Nifty, but we are holding up as pointed out in the green. Well, time then to get individual stock queries answered. Our first query for today comes in on Bharti Infratel. We've got a live caller with us. Geeta S joins in on the phone line. Hi Geeta, thanks for being with us on the show. Tell us about your holding in Bharti Infratel and what you want to know.
Okay, hi, good morning ma'am.
Good morning.
I am having 100 shares of Bharati Infratel bought at the price of 193 rupees. So I want to know what is the future of Bharati Infratel, whether I should hold or I should exit. I'm a short-term trader.
Well, the way you trade, stocks which have just been listed, you need to look at the listing high. The listing high on this stock was about 200. As long as, you are above 200, you can say you are in bullish territory. Even overall, since you are in the money, 193 shouldn't be violated in your case now. A short-term target, since the stock doesn't have much of a history, is about 215. Overall, I would trail the stock. I would keep a stop about 202 once I get to 215 and then see how far this goes. Because once above the listing high, chances are most people get into the money, and if most people are not losing, then the stock faces much less pressure than a stock which is trading below its listing highs. So once we get to 215, update your stop loss to 202 and see how far the stock can go. But make sure that you don't lose money now, since you are now in the money.
Okay, so keep a break-even stop for a target of 215 on this recent name, Bharti Infratel. Away from that, let's take up the next query, which is on the financial space. We've got Vipul Upadhyay joining us on the phone line from Gujarat. Vipul, hi, thanks for being with us. Tell us about your question on Religare.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
I bought a Religare 50 share 326 rupees pair. I am holding 6 months or 1 year. What can I do?
Well, you would understand that Religare is a broking company, and broking is not having the greatest of time. Plus, from a stock chart perspective, it is at a 52-week low. So, that's not the best place for a stock to be. If you have to get into a financial stock, you should get into India Bulls Financial. That is showing good momentum. We could see 370 out there. I don't think Religare is going anywhere. It's a low volume stock, never really moves. So you should get out of this one.
Okay, advisable to get out of Religare and look to buy an India Bulls Finance instead. Our last and final query for the day comes in from IT Bellwether Infi, which will be declaring its results in the next 2 days. It's an email query which has been sent by Hanuma Reddy. Now, Mrs. Reddy bought 20 shares of Infosys at a price of 2,400 rupees per share. Now she wants to know if she should hold or sell with a time horizon of the next 1 year. Ashwini.
Well, the first good thing is that if she's an Infosys fan, and that, there's a lot of bad news in the stock, which means that, probably even on results which are not so good, the stock may not tank a whole lot from here. So the idea should be that broadly keep a 2250 type of a stop. If things are not as bad as expected or a bit better and the stock gets towards 2550, 2600, and that's a good time to book your profits. I don't know if this is a long-term investor, 1 year. I think 2600 should be a decent enough profit from a 1 year type of perspective. But from 2400, I don't think you have much to lose. And in case things start turning around, sometimes they do. Companies are cyclical, businesses are cyclical. You could even get 3,000. That all depends on what the company comes back and says, because there's a lot of depressed sentiment here. In case the company says they are well on track and next quarter onwards everything will be fine, you could even get 3,000, because there could be, a lot of short positions in the stock.
Okay, those are some of the critical levels to be watching out for an Infosys. Hope you've taken note of them, Mrs. Reddy. But before we move ahead with the show, a reminder once again that if you act on any of the advice that's been given, please consult your investment advisor as well before doing so. Well, the momentum certainly is building up in the markets at this point in time. We've got The broader end of the market also doing very well for itself after that momentary pause yesterday. Actually, we have seen an uptick coming in once again today. And what's moving the broader markets is a lot of brokerage reactions. Amongst the biggest movers is the Havells India. Remember, it's up by about 5% odd. Remember, we've had, Citi that's upgraded the stock, and we've had a target improvement come into 734 levels as well. And actually, that's some bit of ratings coming in on your screen. ET now is India's #1 stock market channel with a 46% market share. So good going, of course, for the channel. This is for the data from 30th of December to the 5th of Jan.
So, of course, a big thanks to all of our viewers for allowing us to hold this very strong position. It's 46% market share. Well, on that note, time to get on board Sandeep Wagle as well as Prakash Gaba, who now join in with their top trading recommendations. Sandeep, what's on your list today?
I have Havells, the one that you mentioned, a very, very clear rounding bottom pattern breakout in the daily charts, and I would buy it with a stop loss of 664 and a target of 695 over the next couple of trading sessions. This move should come in. The second one is a buy in HDIL, stop loss of 119.50, target of 128, a inverse head and shoulder pattern in the daily charts. This move should also come in the next 2 to 3 trading sessions. And the third one is a buy in GVK Power, stop loss of 14.30, target of 17, a cup and handle pattern in the hourly chart. So I suppose this move should come in by end of the day or by tomorrow.
Okay, so it's definitely a technical and a fundamental thumbs up coming in for a GVK Power. Remember, JP Morgan, in fact, has upgraded the stock to a buy with a target of 19 rupees for the longer term. Mr. Gaba, take it to you, and what are the 3 stocks that you've identified?
Starting with Cipla. Cipla looks like a good technical breakout from here. Should climb to levels closer to 440, have a stop below 430 and trade the long side. The second stock again is from the pharma pack. Again looks like Glenmark is inching forward, seen a good up move from 440 to 540 and a consolidated for around 2 weeks or so. But again a fresh breakout is coming on short-term time frame. And it should travel to levels closer to 560. Just have a stop below 542 and trade long. This is what is showing in your favor. The third is an IndusInd Bank. Looks like again a good consolidation has happened and it's moved up, it's inching forward. A good breakout on the short-term time frame has happened with some kind of a poise with an indicator buyout there. I would have a stop on IndusInd at 435 and expect it to climb to levels close to 450. So IndusInd Bank also is a buy.
Okay, that's result candidate IndusInd Bank, which is featuring on Prakash's list as well. Well, let's get in a check as to how the broader markets are panning out, and it's firm fettle for the overall index as well as the small cap index, which is now higher by a good 0.5%. Let's pull up some of the top gainers. Then you've got a Colte Patil, which is showing you very strong traction. So 130.5 is where it's currently placed at. SKNL also high by close to 5.5%, small base on that one. Deccan Chronicle has been a fairly volatile journey, locked in upper circuit for that counter. Apart from that, you've also got a Marg, which is holding up very smartly in today's session at 52, and a Balaji Telefilms also in the limelight on the upside. On the downside, though, you've got negative news, which is hammering Inertia International. Financial irregularities have been alleged by the employees. Apart from that, you've got a Ramki Infra. Take a look at an EIH Associated Hotels. That counter also seems to be seeing quite a bit of a dropping today. You've got a Kingfisher Airlines negative news, as well as an Alembic Pharma, which is down and out in the session.
Okay, so individual stocks, of course, seeing a lot of traction, but let's chat with Rajat as well as Deepak then to get you more trading ideas. And Rajat, starts with you, and it's clearly a couple of picks from the real estate basket.
Yeah, 2 realty stocks and 1 auto stock, and all 3 are fairly well-traded counters. My first counter is HDIL. I would suggest buying it with a stop below 119. And targets could be 124 to about 127. If you look at its daily chart, you will find that it is actually trading above its short-term moving averages, and in today's session it is showing a good traction. At this point in time, I have a feeling that 125 to about 127, that target can easily be reached by this. Going forward, it can even move up to something like 135 to 138. Coming to the next stock, again a realty stock, in fact the leader of the pack, DLF. I would suggest that buy it with a stop below 235, and targets this time could be 244 to about 247. Again the same thing, carry unless the stop triggers. real estate stocks are already doing well in today's session, so perhaps a DLF after the intraday consolidation. Initially it shot up, and after that now it is going through a period of consolidation. Once that consolidation is through, then you can expect it to move further up. And finally, Tata Motors, the counter that is rocking today. I believe Tata Motors is headed for a big swing up since it has finished its short correction of about 4 days. Now once it starts moving in above say 325 and sustaining there, since it is doing that, we can expect minimum of 333 to about 335. I would suggest a stop below 324 and carry unless the stop triggers. Tata Motors is clearly in a short, medium and long-term uptrend, so there is nothing much to do about it except that you can go only on dips, and that we are doing.
Okay, that's Rajat's recommendation, a buy on HDIL, DLF and Tata Motors. Let's finally go across to Deepak Mahoney to find out what's on his platter, and there's one real estate stock from your basket too, but your first pick includes the Can Bank?
It does indeed. Banks are beginning to pick up again, and this is one of them which corrected for a couple of days, starting a move afresh. It's a buy with a stop loss of 510 and a target of 540. This is a short-term trade. DB Realty, that's the real estate stock. Stop loss of 161, target of 170. Very high momentum stock. It's been in the middle of an extremely strong move last 2-3 weeks. And today is a resumption of the move after a brief dip, and the stock is already at a 1-year high. The third stock is also at a 1-year high. That's Indiabulls Finance. Momentum again. Stop loss of 330, target of 349. Corrected yesterday, resuming move today.
3 buying ideas coming in from Deepak as well. So Canara Bank, DB Realty and Indiabulls Financial. So with that, of course, we've gone through 18 equity trading ideas, but what's happening with commodity space right now, and what are the commodity trades you could be looking at? Manisha Gupta, our commodities editor, joins us now on the show. Manisha, hi, and tell us about what's happening with the metals as well as the oil side of the market.
Well, thank you for that, Megha. We have seen markets really behave, or rather are waiting for the reweightage, rebalancing that's coming in from the international broking houses. Starting with gold then, and it's off its 4.5-month lows. You were trading at 1625 in the previous week, so 1650 quite firmly holding in this week is how we have seen that one trade. There have been physical buying on the lower side, not just in India and much of Asia, but there are figures to support it as well. You have the Chinese gold imports in Hong Kong now showing a double figure in the month of November on a month-on-month basis, and there also are statements coming in from the Japanese pension funds which say that they will double their gold holdings to 100 billion yen by 2015, and that clearly is supporting the gold prices right now. If you look at the NYMEX crude, that is holding around that $93 a barrel. Markets are looking at inventories and the energy product prices as well. But apart from that, there also is the fact that the S&P GSCI commodity index is increasing its weightage for the Brent, but they have cut the share of NYMEX crude prices going forward in 2013, and that really seems to be weighing onto that space there. For base metal prices then, we have been talking about the rebalancing there in last couple of sessions anyway, but it's the Chinese trade data that is expected in this week, and ahead of that there is some choppiness into this space, so some profit taking coming in. But Deutsche Bank has raised 2013 price forecast in sense of copper, tin and lead going forward. There also is Bharat Bulletin that has come out today, and they expect, or rather forecast, 10 to 15% of a run-up coming in for copper prices in the first quarter of 2013 itself. So some bullish and some rebalancing news coming in from the global markets there. How do you trade commodities then today? For that, let's go across to Naveen Mathur from Angel, and he joins us live on the show. Naveen, hi, welcome. Let's start with gold first, and some bit of a respite coming in on the higher side, some gains because of physical buying. How much of a further strength would you expect?
I think, Manisha, the rupee appreciation would not take the gold prices in Indian markets to a higher side largely. But yes, I think the range-bound trading would happen, and the range would be approximately $1650 levels to around $1670 levels, a $20 gap, where the gold would trade. Yes, the fiscal issue, the uncertainty has been taken off for 2 months, but still there are too many things to be talked about till February and March for the US budget and all the economy factors. Overall, we feel on a longer term the gold looks bullish because of the inflationary expectations of the loose monetary policy, but intraday, because of the rupee appreciation, we would expect the markets to be bearish for the day, and hence the selling strategy we would recommend for gold and silver both as precious metals.
Naveen, what's your sense coming in for the base metal prices now? The German export manufacturing numbers have come in on the weaker side. The markets are watching out for China, but how would you trade into copper for the day?
Manisha, looks positive. I think the Eurozone has been contained with the policy decisions taken last year by the ECB and the policymakers there. The recovery is modest in the US too. The China is on a growth path, and as we heard about the Japanese economy, the loose policy on the monetary side would hold good for the base metals pack over a long period of time. But intraday, because of the rupee appreciation, I would recommend the selling strategy on the MCX, and therefore copper sell-off on the MCX for the month of February can be undertaken at around 450 to 451. We would recommend the stop loss for this particular trade at around 454 and targets on the downside at around 446.
All right, Naveen, appreciate you taking time out for us. So 2 sell calls coming in from Angel today, both in gold and copper for the intraday market there. With that, it's back to you, Avan.
Thanks very much, Manisha, for joining in and giving us that perspective in the commodity space. Well, that wraps up Traders 20. Here's a quick disclaimer once again. Please do make sure that you consult your financial advisor if at all you choose to take on board any positions. To our 6 equity experts, thanks very much for joining in and pointing out your top trading recommendations.